Hey all, so I wanted to take a look at some more Peter Bernstein solo playing, and this one is taken from a YouTube video of him playing My Old Flame at a guitar workshop somewhere. So so this is just gonna be the intro, and I'm gonna go through the whole tune in upcoming videos. So the intro is kind of it's just him playing a turnaround, kind of a more complex turnaround. So the chords are gonna be a G major. The tune is in G major, so he starts out with a G major, plays kind of a C7 coming after that, and then the 3, a B half diminished, E7, then he plays first of all 2/7, so A7, then it goes to kind of like A minor, D7, and then in the final turnaround he plays something resembling like a D minor, C minor, B flat minor, and then an A minor and a D7, which kind of brings us back to the first chord of the tune, which is another G major. So let's take a look at what Pete plays. So he kind of arpeggios over the first G major, and this is basically just a G in the bass, right? And then he just arpeggios a B minor, which is a very common idea if you're new to that, which is that a G major 7 is actually just a B minor arpeggio with a G in the bass. So that's kind of a sound you'd hear pretty often in jazz playing, just this minor triad over a G bass. So basically arpeggios the B minor from F sharp, B, D, F sharp again, B, D, and then F sharp up here. And this high F sharp is kind of the first note of the C7 already. So this is the sharp 11 of a C7, and then he adds to it this minor second. And this minor second is an A and a B flat. And the A and a B flat is basically the 6 and the 7 of the C7 chord. So you can see how these 3 notes together kind of spell out a C7. You just play a C in the bass. So he plays this minor second, and then he arpeggios a C7 chord kind of. So this is just your basic C7 chord. And then he plays the 13 that goes down to the 5. So we have a C down here, B flat, E, A, and the G. Now he keeps going with a B flat, a D, and an A up here. So this is basically all notes out of the chord, but if you want to take a closer look at them, it kind of spells a G minor. Right, so from down here, it plays a G, B flat, and the D. That's a G minor triad. So again, we have this like upper structure kind of sound, and we end up here on the A, which is either the 9 of a G minor or the 13 of C7. At any rate, they're both part of the chord. And now this F sharp that we had before, we still play the F sharp, but it becomes an F natural, which kind of signifies the next chord, which is the B minor half diminished. So we have the F sharp, sharp 11 of the C7, goes down to F natural to be the flat 5 of the B half diminished. So we got here, Now we arpeggios the B half diminished. This is, again, it's not exactly a B half diminished. I'll walk you through the notes maybe, and then I'll explain a bit about it. We have a B down here, F, A, C sharp, D, E, F, A, another C sharp, and E, and then F. So basically, I mean, this kind of sounds a lot to me like he's playing, like he's thinking, instead of thinking B half diminished, he thinks D minor 6, right? And then the C sharp is always an approach to D. I mean, it's kind of like the major 7 of the D minor 6. But having said that, of course, you could also think about the C sharp within the context of B half diminished, and then it's the natural 9, kind of instead of the flat 9, playing the natural 9. That's also a very common sound, kind of when you play 3 half diminished in a jazz context. So anyway, we had that kind of D minor-ish sound, and now we get to the E7. So first of all, he plays the bass down here, the open 6 string, and then so we have the flat 9 up here, the F with the bass, and then he plays this kind of minor thirds that kind of spell out the diminished, right? This could have been like the whole diminished chords, but it's just playing minor third. So the first one is a G and the B flat, F and G sharp, E and G, and the D and an F. So these are all notes taken out of the diminished scale. So E7, it's like an F diminished scale. So the first four intervals are those kind of minor thirds. And then he plays 2 kind of major chords. We have a C major, E, C, G, and the B flat major. And those 2 chords kind of lead us to the A7. Right? And that's just like a very kind of, people would call it probably gravitational, right? The B flat going down to A, right? It's just gravitation. But it's also like this very common voice leading, right? Kind of playing this flat G being the sharp 9 of the E7 chord, F being the flat 9 of the F7 of the E7 chord, and then of course E and D being a part of the chord, and the C and B flat kind of, you can also think about it as tensions, right? The flat 13 and the sharp 11, but they're also just, they make out these 2 major chords, kind of make sense. So once we play that, we get to the A7. Pete plays this huge chord with the 13 and the sharp 11. So I'll just walk you through the notes: A, F sharp, C sharp, G, D sharp, and then A. Now he plays it again with the F sharp becoming an F natural. So the 13 is going down to the flat 13. So over this A7, A7 flat 13, Pete plays some bebop lines, and I'll take you through them once slowly. Right, so it's basically kind of playing an E7, E minor 7 sound, maybe. Maybe it's easier to think about it that way, but they're all kind of, it's all kind of part of the same kind of Mixolydian scale, maybe then Mixolydian sharp 11. But I'll just show you, I'll take you through the notes once. So we have an F sharp, A, G, B, D, F sharp. Now the D become a D sharp, F sharp again. So we have this D, D, F sharp, D sharp, F sharp, kind of progressing towards the E. Now we get to the E, and we just arpeggio in E minor 9. So E, G, B, D, F sharp. And it's always useful to remember that if you have an A7, you can always kind of make a 2-5 out of it. So if the A7 is a 5, the 2 would also always be E minor. So kind of while you're playing A7, you can also be thinking E minor, which is something that Pete does a lot. So once you play that, it goes back to A7, then spells out an A minor, or kind of A minor on D. It could be a D sus as well. Depends how you think about it. So we have this A7 sharp 11 going to this D7 sus, or an A minor, and then it kind of plays the same idea, but a perfect fourth up, right? So 1/4 up. So instead of on A7, kind of on D7. I mean, it doesn't play it exactly the same. I'll walk you through the notes once. B, D, C, E, G, B, D, C, E, G, and a B up there. So again, we're basically just arpeggioing an A minor, right? So playing the 2 of the 5. And now it's time for the 5. So this is just a D7 chord, a D7 13 chord. So we have a B, F sharp, C, and he plays the bass here with the thumb. I mean, you can also just play it with the first finger, but maybe the thumb is a bit easier, just because separating the bass from the chord anyway. Playing the chord first and bass second. Anyway, he plays that chord, then he solves it to the G. So just a D and a G up here. Okay, so once he gets to the G, instead of just playing a normal turnaround, right? Because we got to the 1 of the chord, most people will just play E7, kind of A minor, D7, and then start up the song. But he kind of makes it a bit more interesting, and it's something he also mentions in master classes quite often. If you had the chance to hear any of his master classes, he says a lot that you should get off the 1. Like you don't want to play the 1 chord prematurely, because the 1 kind of spells out the end of something, the target that we're aiming for. So in this case, he doesn't even get to the 1. It's not that he plays the 1 and gets off it quickly. He just plays a D minor instead. So a D minor or a G7, you can look at it both ways. But this one sounds a lot like a D minor. So it doesn't even get to the G major, it kind of skips it and plays a D minor instead. And then the turnaround, I'll just spell out the chords for you once, maybe, so they would make sense together. Kind of plays the D minor, and then it follows it up with a C minor chord, and then a B flat minor, which is the 2 of the song, half a step up, and then that kind of prepares the A minor and the D7. So it's a kind of a funky way of playing a turnaround, but it really works, and he makes it work also with the chord that he chooses, the chords that he chooses to use. So let's take a look at some of the chords. Now we had the G up here, and then the chord down there is a D minor 7, so we have C, A, and D, again with the D on top. Now this next chord is kind of like preparing the C minor, kind of, it's not really a G7, if anything it's more like a C7 chord, or a G minor 6 chord, but a C7 is kind of also, if you think about it, preparing a C minor, right? Because a C minor is basically an F chord. It's a bit confusing, but you can always think about the minor chord as the 2 in a 2-5. So the C minor would be the second, and the F would be the 5. So we can always play a C7 that goes to that F, but instead of solving it to F, we solve it to C minor. So this is basically what it does here. When it plays this C7 sounding chord, I mean it has the F as well, so it's a bit of a tricky chord. I'll just show you the notes for a sec. We have a B flat, F, and C, and then he adds the E on top. So this is kind of like, it sounds to me a lot like a C7 chord that prepares the C minor. But you can also think about it in other ways, I guess. Anyway, the next chord is just the C minor, and he uses the same chord that we were playing on the D minor. So we have an F on top, B flat, G, and a C. Now it plays another C minor chord, this time with the 9 on top. So we have G, E flat, B flat, and the D on top. And this is kind of like an F7, so it's preparing. We want to go to B flat minor, so it's preparing that B flat minor. So we have an F sharp here, or a G flat, whichever way you want to look at it. And then we have an E flat and an A. And then we get to the B flat minor, but he plays it with an E flat in the bass. So it's either like an E flat sus, an E flat sus 7, or a B flat with an E flat in the bass, which is basically the same chord. Now he plays some notes out of that chord, like extensions of the chord. We have the 11 up here, if we're thinking about it as a B flat minor. So we have the 11 E flat and the 9 C. And now this time the E flat is no longer sus, it's a sharp 11. So it's a bit of a sharper sound to kind of lead us down to the D minor, the D7, sorry. So the notes are F, D flat, this time an A natural instead of an A flat, and an E flat. And now we go down to the same chord we were using for the E flat sus. We have a D7 sus. And we kind of play the same notes that we were playing here, namely the 11 of the chord, but now we're in A minor or D sus, so we're playing a D up here. And instead of going to the B, like that would be transposing the same thing that he did before, it goes from the D, it goes straight to this D7, kind of flat 9 sound, and then he plays the B afterwards. So he kind of mixes it up a little bit just to make it more interesting. So again, the D up here, the chord, this is, it's a chord I've talked about before in these videos, but Pete uses it quite often. So we have an E flat up here, a B, an F sharp, and a C. So basically, the way I think about it always is a B triad, right? I mean, you can think about it as a D sharp then, not an E flat. D sharp, B, and F sharp, so a triad with a flat 9. So instead of the B in the bass, he plays the flat 9, the C in the bass, the C natural. And now he plays that 9, right? That 9 of the A minor chord that he owed us from before. And he follows that up with this kind of beautiful G major chord to mark the beginning of the song. And this is kind of like a very signature Pete thing, to use open strings. Not a lot of jazz guitar players take advantage of the open strings of the guitar, but this is a beautiful example of him playing a G major with the open strings, G major 7. So we have the B up here, the open B, the open G, and then this minor second between the open G and the F sharp, and the G in the bass. Alright, so that was the intro for my old flame. The first A is I'm gonna upload the first A in the coming days, and hopefully I'll get through the whole song. We'll see how it goes. And I just wanted to mention I didn't write a PDF yet, but the PDF is definitely coming up. So if it's not up yet, just check in within a few days. Maybe I will have already uploaded it. So I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, likes, subscriptions, and comments are appreciated. And I'll see you next time.